Hello friends. Welcome to Homeopathy Medicines. Today in this homeopathic Materia Medica, I will discuss about homeopathic medicine Secale cornutum. Before starting this video, please subscribe to this channel. We need support from you to make this channel more beautiful and more informative. Now going to discuss about Secale cornutum, its uses and symptoms. Produces contraction of the unstriped muscular fibers, hence a constringent feeling throughout the whole body. This produces an anemic condition, coldness, numbness, pimples, mortification, gangrene. A useful remedy for old people with shriveled skin, thin, scrawny old women. All the Secale conditions are better from cold. The whole body is pervaded by a sense of great heat. Hemorrhages, continued oozing, thin, fetid, watery black blood. Debility, anxiety, emaciation, though appetite and thirst may be excessive. Facial and abdominal muscles twitch. Secale decreases the flow of pancreatic juice by raising the blood pressure, hence stale. Head, passive, congestive pain, rises from back of head, with pale face. Head drawn back. Falling of hair, dry and gray. Nosebleed, dark, oozing. Eyes, pupils dilated. Incipient cataract, senile especially in women. Eyes sunken and surrounded by a blue margin. Face, pale, pinched, sunken. Cramps commence in face and spread over whole body. Livid spots on face. Spasmodic distortion. Mouth, tongue dry, cracked, blood like ink exudes, coated thick, viscid, yellowish, cold livid. Tingling of tip of tongue, which is stiff. Tongue swollen, paralyzed. Stomach, unnatural ravenous appetite, craves acids. Thirst unquenchable. Singultus, nausea, vomiting of blood and coffee grounds fluid. Burning in stomach and abdomen, tympanites. Eructations of bad odor. Stool, cholera-like stools, with coldness and cramps. Olive green, thin, putrid, bloody, with icy coldness and intolerance of being covered, with great exhaustion. Involuntary stools, no sensation of passing feces, anus wide open. Urine, paralysis of bladder. Retention, with unsuccessful urging. Discharge of black blood from bladder. Enuresis in old people. Female, menstrual colic, with coldness and intolerance of heat. Passive hemorrhages in feeble, cachectic women. Burning pains in uterus. Brownish, offensive leukorrhea. Menses irregular, copious, dark, continuous oozing of watery blood until next period. Threatened abortion about the third month, SAB. During labor no expulsive action, though everything is relaxed. After pains. Suppression of milk, breasts do not fill properly. Dark, offensive lochia. Puerperal fever, putrid discharges, tympanitis, coldness, suppressed urine. Chest, angina pectoris. Dyspnea and depression, with cramp in diaphragm. Boring pain in chest. Precordial tenderness. Palpitation, with contracted and intermittent pulse. Sleep, profound and long. Insomnia with restlessness, fever, anxious dreams. Insomnia of drug and liquor habitudes. Back, spinal irritation, tingling of lower extremities, can bear only slightest covering. Locomotor ataxia. Formication and numbness. Myelitis. Extremities, cold, dry hands and feet of excessive smokers with feeling of fuzziness in fingers. Trembling, staggering gait. Formication, pain and spasmodic movements. Numbness. Fingers and feet bluish, shriveled, spread apart or bent backwards, numb. Violent cramps. Icy coldness of extremities. Violent pain in fingertips, tingling in toes. Skin, shriveled, numb, mottled dusky blue tinge. Sclerema and edema neonatorum. Raynaud's disease. Blue color. Dry gangrene, developing slowly. Varicose ulcers. Burning sensation, better by cold, wants parts uncovered, though cold to touch. Formication, pimples. Slight wounds continue to bleed. Livid spots. Boils, small, painful, with green contents, mature slowly. Skin feels cold to touch, yet covering is not tolerated. Great aversion to heat. Formication under skin. Fever, coldness, cold, dry skin, cold, clammy sweat, excessive thirst. Sense of internal heat. Modalities: worse, heat, warm covering. Better, cold, uncovering, rubbing, stretching out limbs. The best provers of Secale, those who are most susceptible to its action, are scrawny people, and they are the ones who will most likely need it as their curative remedy. Of course, it is not necessarily contraindicated in fat people. Certain constitutions are mentioned in connection with a remedy as being suited to it, but it must not be inferred that no action will result in others when the symptoms agree. Scrawny people are especially related to Secale. Emaciated, withered, wrinkled, unhealthy appearance of the skin, purplish, bluish skin, general or in spots, purplish spots on withered skin, especially where the circulation is feeble, as on the back of the hands and feet and on the tibia. These parts become numb, tingle and wither. The extremities prickle, burn, and tingle, creeping and crawling, as of insects under the skin, as if between the skin and the flesh, numb, dead, wooden sensation in the fingers and especially in the toes. The toes become black, gangrenous. A senile withering, such as is found in feeble old people, the blood vessels close up, no blood goes to the toes and they become numb and black, devoid of sensation. Hence, Secale improves the circulation of the aged and postponed senile gangrene. Burning is a feature of this remedy. The skin burns, the extremities burn, sensation of burning when the parts feel cold to the touch and really are cold, a sensation of heat with coldness. Burning, especially of internal parts. Dryness with burning, burning in the stomach and bowels, dryness and burning in the mouth and throat, the nose and air passages, burning in the lungs. This remedy produces ulceration even to sloughing. Old ulcers take on a strange, withered appearance, dryness with no granulations, a shiny, blackish aspect, and all at once blackish granulations shoot out, indolent, and finally forming a black faceless which slowly separates. The part is dry, there is no discharge except now and then a little bleeding of black blood. Oozing of black, liquid blood, oozing when there is no inflammation, nosebleed of dark, venous, offensive, fluid blood, bleeding from the throat, lungs, bladder, and rectum, of dark blood, urine like ink. Prolonged uterine hemorrhage so that one menstrual nisus runs into another, withered subjects, considerable flow on the first day, fluid, and blackish. This goes on for a couple of weeks and then a dark, watery flow comes on which lasts until the next period. Then comes the thick, black, fluid, horribly offensive flow again. Such a state is found in the woman who has taken ergot to produce abortion, or in sensitive women who have been dosed with it to facilitate delivery. Of course, if the woman is not sensitive you will not get the lingering provings. Some women are so insane that though they die they will get rid of their offspring. On all hands women say, "I have had no health since I aborted." The worst state of health is produced by ergot. It establishes a miasm as deep as Saura itself. The desire to destroy the offspring is an engraftment on Saura, and by ergot she takes on a miasm as dangerous as psychosis or syphilis. I have patients who took ergot to cause abortion, and I can do nothing mere than palliate them. They have Secale symptoms, sequelae, and their Sauric symptoms are suppressed, held down, just as syphilis holds down Sauric manifestations. Only by covering the Secale miasm and getting at the Saura can we help the patient. They have placed themselves beyond the help of the physician, and the ergot will shorten their lives many years unless they are fortunate enough to have careful prescribing continuously while they live. The general constitutional state is aggravated from heat. There are only a few exceptions to this. Wants cold though the limbs are cold as ice, wants to be uncovered, wants the windows open. A patient with hemorrhages wants the covers off through the room is cold. A patient with ulcers wants to be uncovered, in inflammatory condition of the stomach and bowels, wants the abdomen uncovered. At times there is a lingering state of heat of the skin and the patient wants to be covered up. There are also sharp, stinging neuralgic pains, which burn like fire and cut like a knife and are relieved by the application of heat, headache worse in cold air. But the general state is ameliorated from uncovering, in a cold room, and from cold air blowing on the patient. Violent inflammation of any part of the body, gangrenous pneumonia, gastritis, peritonitis, inflammation of the uterus and ovaries. In inflammatory conditions it competes with arsenicum. The symptoms are so nearly alike in both that it is difficult to differentiate. Both have violently distended abdomen, tympanites, burning like coals of fire, violent thirst, extreme sensitiveness and tenderness to touch, so that motion or jar is unbearable, vomiting of blood, expulsion of blood clots, horrible, offensive, bloody discharge from the bowels, but they are different in the generals. Arsenicum wants to be covered up, to be kept warm, to have hot applications, either wet or dry, while Secale wants to be uncovered, wants the cold air. Convulsions of single parts or of the whole muscular system, opisthodynos, cramps in the calves, thighs, soles of the feet, and hands, hysterical contractures, a hysterical diathesis. Convulsions begin in the face. Active manias with great excitement, exposes her body and tears at the genitals, puts her finger in the vagina and scratches until the lips bleed, all idea of modesty lost. The spasms, nervous, and mental symptoms are worse while she is flowing, so that a puerperal convulsion comes on in the midst of a hemorrhage. From the hemorrhagic tendency and the ability to destroy the red blood corpuscle, there is anemia. The face looks like dried beef, wrinkled, shriveled, scrawny, as if it had not been washed, as if grey dirt had dried on the skin, and this especially on the extremities, a dirty, grey appearance. Catarrhal affections of all mucous membranes, they are dry and bleed, blood oozes from the catarrhal surfaces, liquid, black, and offensive, coagulating slowly or not at all. Nosebleed, blood dark, runs continually, with great prostration, small thread-like pulse, in old people or drunkards, of young women, from debility. Those poisoned by ergot become victims of opacity of the lens as in senile debility, cataract of old persons. The withered scrawny person with tendency to ulcerations, unhealthy skin and aggravation from heat, is striking in both acute and chronic states. Chronic diarrhea, exhaustive, watery discharges, cholera. It is related to camphor. Scrawny people take cholera, skin cold and blue, better from cold. Violent and continued thirst. Diarrhea and hemorrhages are likely to come together, diarrhea of bloody water or dark liquid blood. Large doses produce such contractures of the uterus that its contents are expelled and an exhausting hemorrhage follows, expulsion of large clots and in the early stages mixed with some red blood, but the most striking feature is liquid, black discharge. Asiatic cholera with collapse, sunken, distorted face, particularly the mouth, crawling sensation as of ants. Pyretic condition, paralysis of lower extremities, of one side, of one arm or one leg, paralysis of the upper extremities with tingling, numbness, and prickling. Numbness and burning down the whole length of the spine, general emaciation or only of diseased part. Eruptions, abscesses, boils, carbuncles, green pus discharged, a green, purplish appearance, boils small with green contents, mature and heal slowly. Establishes sterility, so weak as the uterus that it can never hold the fetus, hence the value in sterility and repeated abortions. Dwindling of the mammae. Absence of milk after confinement. Thin, scrawny children with shriveled skin, spasmodic twitchings, sudden cries, feverishness. Purpura hemorrhagica. Paralysis of the extremities. Spinal irritation. Cachectic females with rough skin, pustules tending to gangrene. Thanks for watching this video. If you want more videos like Secale cornutum, please subscribe to this channel and press the bell icon. Comment us your feedback. Like and share this video with your friends and family. For paid and free consultancy online, visit homeopathymedicines.com and mashclinic.com. Thank you. Have a nice day. Stay healthy, stay happy.